Let's start with key takeaway from yesterday's observation on April 2nd, 2019. So these were the things we were paying attention to yesterday. If VIX divergence happens again pre-market, that was going to turn us into bears. If Apple begins to sell off, this one did not take place yet. If stocks move higher on lower volume, it will result in a sell-off later in the day or something that will resemble move 6. That's exactly what took place. If you notice a pyramid formation, any variation of a move 11, if some or all of these conditions take place, be ready to start buying puts. So we had all these conditions met literally after 20 minutes of the market open. And so when 75% of these conditions are met, that's when we take action and we reverse from bulls to bears. Now, these observations from today, April 13th, check it out. Guys, today is April 3rd, 2019. It's a Wednesday. Here's what we're observing as far as the market moves daily. Some incredible stuff is about to take place. Here are the top 3 observations for the day. It is officially the third day of divergence between the VIX versus S&P 500. It is the second day, or actually multiple days in a row, where we're observing that the sell side, as far as volume, is actually exceeding the buy side. And number 3, unanimously across the board, all indexes are showing black candles. If you studied our charts divergence course, you know that black candles with a specific formation, they actually point to a bearish reversal. So let's take a look at number 1, most important and crucial point for the day, which has actually made us send a bunch of put option purchases in our alerts, VIP alerts and long-term alerts. This is exactly what was taking place midday. Now, we started observing this divergence again Monday. We observed it yesterday on Tuesday, and we're observing it again yet today on a Wednesday. And it all starts where pre-market, the markets are actually heading higher, but the VIX is not dropping, or it is actually going slightly higher. Well, throughout the day, as the market continued rallying, hitting a new high of 28.89, we actually observed the VIX was also moving higher. And that was essentially the critical point which made us increase our put positions. So we can take a VIX divergence 1 day in a row, we can take VIX divergence 2 days, but when it's 3 days in a row, guys, the market is telling us something. These divergences are not to be taken lightly. So those of you that did buy BKNG puts yesterday, you guys should be sitting some pretty healthy gains, depending, of course, which strike price you were getting. Now, we're still in a low VIX environment. As you can see, VIX ended up, but VIX at some point today actually hit a high of 14.2. It's still in the low range. It's still under 16, so it makes sense to buy stuff in the money or close to the money. Now, here's what we're seeing on S&P 500 today. Look at this, guys, right here. Black candle surprisingly coincides with these multiple levels, and it's pointing to the fact that maybe there is going to be a failed breakout from this cup with a handle formation. This is also confirmed on NASDAQ. Check this out. Now, this is definitely a bearish reversal candle right here, guys. And as you can see, we're also getting other divergences. So for those of you that have been studying the charts and divergences, of course, guys, what does this mean? Well, this means that the market makes a new high, but the RSI does not follow the market to the new high. So the relative strength is actually decreasing as the markets are going higher. Now, that is incredibly important, guys, because this is how tops in the markets are formed. And it's confirmed on Dow Jones as well. So we got this one does not, it's just a black candle. It's not as precise as the reversal candle on NASDAQ. However, it is still a black candle, which is a characteristic of institutional selling. So if you guys are trying to make sense out of this environment, well, everybody on TV tells you to be bullish. Now, we're doing exactly the opposite. You got to adapt and adjust yourself and your positions to this market quick. And so this is what we're showing that the markets are telling us. By the way, today was a move 11. If you're curious, why was it a move 11? And remember to review the part of the 13 markets move where it actually There's 3 variations of move 11, right? So any one of them, if you look at the chart without focusing on the levels in relation to where the market opens, it goes opens slightly lower, slightly higher, which are all variations of a move 11. Just focus on this. It's a pyramid, right? So when you see a pyramid formation, some of them are not going to be perfect pyramids, right? As you can see, we actually dropped much lower than where we opened, but in a lot of move 11s, you're going to open exactly and close very close to the area where you have opened, which is exactly what we've had. So even though it's not a perfect pyramid because of this leg lower, we did close pretty much where we opened, which is just exceptional observation right here, guys. So try to take advantage of this when you put in your day trades. If you were day trading, you would know that, hey, in the pyramid formation, in the move 11, it was going to drop and bounce towards the end of the day. So this is typical to see this bounce because it's kind of exactly the opposite of what's taking place initially in the day. So really cool stuff, guys. Market move 11. Okay, 2-day sequence that we've got so far now is 5-11. 5-11 does not happen often, but it does happen more frequently when the markets are topping. So this is how the chart looks for the 2-day sequence. Here's your move 5 from yesterday. Here's your 11, the pyramid. Okay, done. Now, 5-day sequence, what we got is now 7, 7, 1, 5, 11. Now, all of these are bullish moves. Okay, 7 is a bullish move. 1 is a bullish move. 5, even though the markets are trending sideways, but predominantly 5 is considered a bullish move. And finally, what do we have? We have a bearish reversal type move. So after a sequence of bullish moves, we're finally getting a bearish reversal move. That tells you, trader, pay attention. Something can happen here. Be ready. Okay, this may be a time to start buying puts. And guys, these are the times when you're looking at your screen and all the indexes are green. So typically you're not thinking about buying puts, but this is exactly what you've got to do. And for those of you that are afraid to buy, 50, 100 contracts, trade your position side, trade your comfort level, but you're better off being in the position rather than out of the position. So, if your average trade size is 5 contracts, guys, buy 1, buy 2, but get in the position. Okay, the 5-day sequence on the chart is going to look like this. So remember, that was a 2, a 7, 7, 1, 5. And look how interesting this looks. This almost is a reversal of this situation right here. So it is reasonable to expect that we could actually revisit this level of 27.91. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to revisit 27.91 tomorrow. Because again, some of these stops, they form, and they certainly take their time to form. They take a little longer than we often would prefer as a trader. So be very careful, because just because we're getting this nice move lower on higher volume, it does not necessarily mean that we're heading for a huge drop-off tomorrow. Because initially, we could actually spike slightly higher before the sell-off. And so therefore, this would represent a greater opportunity to add to your put position tomorrow when the market's open, if we are slightly higher. Now, here's the most important observation is VIX has been downtrending for a while. And in yesterday's daily video, we pointed out that, hold on, that 13 level, could this be the bottom? And what we're finding out that, look, today is the first day of bullish reversal in the VIX. Let's take a closer look right here. This is how it's going to look on the chart, guys. Here's your bullish reversal in the VIX. As you can see, we gap lower, but every time you see, if we're to take a look, look at this chart, right? It gaps lower, it bounces higher, gaps lower, bounces higher. These are your bullish reversal indications right here on the chart, guys. And then we finally close that gap. You see this gap gets closed. That's when we start sending messages. Hold on, we're about to close this gap. Start positioning yourself. I know it looks like the market is just going to rocket higher and higher, but that's not what the VIX is telling us. So get ready to buy puts. And we also suggested to buy VIX calls right around this level right here. So for those of you guys that did take action, hey, congratulations. There's some decent gains there, which could accelerate in the next 48 hours. Now, here's the conclusion. Observing all this, guys, we actually have an increased probability of a failed cup with a handle. Okay, we got more sell side volume. We got bearish reversal candles forming across all indexes, not just one, which tells us the entire market is getting exhausted. So very likely that we're just one day from a bigger drop. So review the sequence 1173, 1172 in your 13 markets move formula, so you would be prepared to trade tomorrow and the next day. As you know, in the sequence 1173, your 7 is your bullish move. So just because we're getting 11 today does not automatically tell us the market is going to drop off like crazy tomorrow. But what does tell us we could be just one day away from the bigger drop. So here's the high probability of next move. Very likely tomorrow we could have a move 6. In other words, the market could initially start higher and then sell off towards the end of the day again. We're going to have a 1 to where it's kind of like the market is still rethinking, are we quite at the top yet? We may see some buyers come in. We may have overall a positive day. We could have a move 7, which is just another variation of a 1, right? So the market goes higher. It looks like it pulls back, but it manages to stay in the green for the rest of the day. This is a very interesting situation because this is how you guys can put some really amazing trades. Because oftentimes, if we get a move like this tomorrow, it will be followed by a drop on the third day. So again, today's move 11, it could be followed by a 6, 1, or a 7 tomorrow, ultimately followed on the third day of the sequence by move 2 or 3. So this is your money-making opportunity on the put side because things can drop off rather fast. So here are the possible sequences that we calculated going into tomorrow and the next day. Possible sequence 1163, 1173, or 1172. And a little bit more of a complex one, 1116, which ultimately will follow on a drop on the fourth day, which would coincide with a Monday. So if we are on a Friday, it would make sense to actually start buying some puts for the following week. Okay, and ultimately, here's what we're saying. There is a possible reversal on the S&P 500 to a level of 2768. We're currently at like 2880 roughly, so it's about 110 points lower from where we are right now. Keep an eye on the VIX. If the VIX keeps spiking, especially if VIX breaks out above 14,849 today, then add to your positions, to your put positions, that is. Falling oil prices is going to make it rather difficult for the market to rally higher. I think we're going to see some more profit taken across the board, not just in the technology sector, but other sectors. And, observe the volume. If the market opens up slightly higher on low volume, short the hell out of it. Okay, and so build put positions. Guys, I wish you a great trading day. Study the courses, study the charts. And for those of you that miraculously are watching this video but have not yet taken the 13 market move course, guys, you're missing out on a lot of unbelievable trading ideas and trading situations out there. So, if you want to get better, make sure, okay, you get in touch with us or click the link. I don't know if there's the link somewhere out there below the video or whatnot. But, take advantage of this information so you can ultimately, day by day, improve and become a better trader. Guys, I'll catch you in the next video tomorrow.